And we're back. Sarcasm speaks. It's Jared and Bob. We're zooming. We're zooming at you on a beautiful Memorial Day, huh?
Yeah, it was
Great.
nice this weekend.
Yeah, great holiday weekend we had here.
I don't think Sharon Country Club was open one day.
Yeah. You want to talk about like absolute ridiculousness? Hey, what was it last Wednesday? It was like 90 degrees, something like
Yeah, I
that.
think it got close. I think it got close on Wednesday, and then by Saturday, it was 47.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know all about Saturday. I had the the opportunity to go to the Red Sox game for one of Amy's friends' birthday
And that was
things.
the first day unrestricted, right?
Yep, and
Dude, that was historic.
I can confidently say Fenway was not anywhere near max capacity.
Oh, dude, how come? What do you think that was?
Yeah, maybe it could have been the 30-mile-an-hour winds and the high of 45 degrees. Oh, in the rain all day. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were making Fenway Franks, right?
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was
understand
weird.
why.
They
I just
were
don't understand why more people wouldn't go.
there was a lot of concession stands that were closed. It was like kind of strange to be in Fenway on a day when it could have been at full capacity, and things were still closed. I mean, what was it capped at before? I think it was less than 10,000 people before. There
Like,
was there was definitely more than 10,000 people at this game, but I would say there wasn't any more than like 20,000. I think Fenway has a capacity of what, 32, somewhere between 32 and 35,000.
and I don't know what their posted capacity is.
Um, yeah, I'd say we were somewhere around 2/3 full. There was still plenty, like the bleachers, like the whole center field, center field, right field, like all out there. That was like elbow to elbow. That was packed.
Yeah.
But the section I was in was the left field roof deck, I guess you would call it, and there was plenty of open areas around us. Um, had the so all right, let me lay this out
But
for you.
I also would like to just say you quite literally couldn't have been in a worse place
Nope,
for rain and wind.
nope.
Please tell me it
Uh,
was into your face too.
it was all over actually. It was a swirling wind.
Oh,
So
good.
so that was fun. Um, so we were literally the last row. Like my back was like the gate that if I fell over, I would die. Like I would
That,
fall all the way to the ground and die.
that probably helped 2%. Not a lot, but
Yeah,
being that far back may have actually helped slightly because then any wind at your back would have got cut by the wall.
right, right. So we were like right next to the green monster, where we were at. Obviously not on the monster, but so let's run this down here. Friday night, the Red Sox play. Game gets called after what, 5.5 innings, 6 innings,
I don't
because
even know.
because
I
of
don't think
rain. It started pissing rain, and it was cold as fuck to be more accurate. So then Saturday, we wake up and it is pissing rain still in the morning, and it is cold. So I layered up and I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I guess we're going to this game. And the whole way from about 11:30 until like 2 o'clock, I was all over the Red Sox Twitter, like doing the refresh thing. And they were like, yep, as of 2 o'clock, they were like, yeah, no, we are still, we have plans to proceed as normal, no delay, no cancellation, no nothing. So I was like, all right, sick. We get there, and it's not that bad, actually. It's when we first get there, it's fine. The rain let up. It was probably, somewhere between 45 and 48. Uh, we get up to the stands, we sit there, and pretty okay. Like I layered up all right. Like I have like thick, like fleece lined waterproof pants. I wore long johns under those. I had wool socks on, my hiking boots. Then I had like a base layer that was just like a long sleeve, like Nike dry fit. Then I put a cotton t-shirt over that. And then I put a sweatshirt over that. And then I had my rain jacket over that. And I was good until about the fifth inning. Once the fifth.
Did 4 of you go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was completely and utterly underdressed for the occasion? Someone had to have been unprepared.
The girls. The girls were underdressed.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them. By the end of it, neither of them could feel their feet. Like they were like, it was like a struggle for them to walk down the stairs to get out of Fenway because they were like, oh, wow, my feet aren't working so good. I was like, yep, should have taken those wool socks that I offered you. I said that to Amy. She'll probably listen to this, but I gave her shit that day too. I was like, oh, because I offered her another pair, like, because I have 2 pairs of my fleece line pants. Like I just wear them for work in the winter. Yep. I go, oh, do you want these? She goes, no, I'll be fine. Okay. Do you want some wool socks? I got like 13 fucking pairs of them. Nah, I'm going to wear sneakers. So I don't want to wear wool socks. Okay. And I was fucking good. Like I said, I was good until the 5th inning. Then the wind started kicking up. The sun starts to go down and it starts to get a little colder. And by the 7th inning, I was like, I'm about to go into like a full body shiver. Like I couldn't get warm. Like I wasn't like nervous that I was too cold, but I was like uncomfortably cold. I brought like a neck gaiter because I wasn't sure what Boston was going to be like as far as like mask stuff, even though that was the day when like stuff stopped. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Sometimes Boston is different because Massachusetts will make a rule and Boston will just do something else. But I guess not anymore because Marty Walsh already got his cabinet position. So that type of deal is over. I guess Boston follows the rules now of the rest of Massachusetts when someone's not vying for a new job. So I actually put the neck gaiter on around my neck and like pulled it up to try and like keep my neck warm. And like I have a hat on. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have my hat on. I have my hood over and I like pulled the rain jacket hood tight. Like, and it was fucking cold, man. We ended up leaving at the end of the 8th inning, I think, like the bottom of the 8th or at the end of the 8th. We caught the end as we were walking out. We're like, yeah, we're good. We're done. It was fucking cold. And we looked at the temperature thing in the car when we got back and it said 46. But there was very easily a 20-mile-an-hour wind. So with the wind chill and sitting, I don't know, what is that? 4 stories up. It definitely felt like it was about fucking 35 degrees, if not less. So
it's pretty awesome. Yeah, mad I didn't get to enjoy such a thing.
Yeah, it was a great time. The beginning was fine, like I said, up until the 7th inning was when things started getting, like I said, uncomfortable. That's when I like looked over and was like, so are we staying for the whole game? Or because then at one point, like moving our seats was mentioned because it was so empty. And I was like, so are we going to like move somewhere lower so we're not getting blasted by all sides with the wind? And then like nothing happened. So then I was ready to leave when we left. So and then Sunday we got pouring rain all day. Same weather again. High of 52. Got all the way up to 52 degrees yesterday. So it was warm. And then today, even more of the same. Warm. It was 58. Yeah. Today was 58 degrees. Woo-wee. I was break out your t-shirts and your shorts.
I was gonna go swimming
because it is 6:10 right now, local time, and it just stopped raining.
Sharon Country Club got 4 inches of rain.
Yeah. It started raining on Friday at whatever time. It doesn't matter. And it just stopped raining at 6 o'clock on Monday night.
So I want a place that, again, just can't catch a fucking break. Last year, brand new clubhouse, COVID.
Yep.
This year, starting to come back, still a little restriction, whatever. On the day that the restrictions lifted, no capacities, you can sit at the bar, you don't have to wear a mask when you get to go up to piss. The clubhouse was closed all weekend because the golf course was closed all weekend.
Yeah.
On fucking Memorial Day. Like, that's a big weekend.
Well, it's allegedly the beginning of summer, if you ask some people.
Not here.
Yeah, not here. But we're lucky, though, because we have seasons.
Yeah, I'm just glad we get seasons.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a shame. Like, it really, really would have been a shame for it to have been just like 70.
Yeah, that would have been tough. I can't imagine life without seasons,
Well, because so it must be so shitty to live in Arizona because they don't get seasons.
Yeah, no.
It's just hot all the time. So it's like, it was probably like 100 and sunny today in Arizona.
Yeah, but it's dry heat.
That's where they're playing. That's where they're playing the NCAA.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a dry heat, so it probably only felt like 65, so it might be a little cold.
Some guys out there with long sleeves.
Shorts out on the golf course, so must be warm enough.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine living in a place where like the coldest it gets all year is like 45.
So Michaela's uncle literally lives in Scottsdale, which is where they're playing right now.
Yep.
And I think the coldest it literally gets is like 60 in Scottsdale.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because sometimes I know some parts of Arizona get pretty cold because it's desert.
North, right?
Yeah, and because it's like desert. Deserts actually do get pretty cold at night. They might be like 120 during the day, but they get down to like fucking like 40 degrees at night. It gets real fucking cold.
Is it a dry cold too?
Yeah.
Or
I would imagine, yeah, because there's no humidity that comes out of nothing in the night. So
okay, yeah, okay, just making sure because I know it's a dry heat out there. I didn't know if they get a dry cold.
It must be tough in the nighttime because with there's no humidity and the dry cold, it must be harder to stay warm.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like 40 overnight, it must feel like, what's that feel like? 0?
Yeah, probably like -20.
It's like 1 degree Kelvin.
Yeah. Just above absolute zero.
But so speaking of this weekend with Massachusetts lifting its restrictions,
yes.
Have you been places this weekend?
By places, when I say yes, I mean the grocery store. It's the only place I've gone this weekend. I mean, outside of the Red Sox game.
All right. So so Saturday was the first day the restrictions were supposed to be lifted.
Yeah.
So the first place I went to was Brockton Market.
Yep.
So I go in, on the door, sign is, the CDC recommends vaccinated people wear a mask. Okay.
Unvaccinated, but yeah.
Whatever. I go in. I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't matter.
This is the thing. I don't fucking care.
It doesn't matter.
No, because it's on personal responsibility at this point. So whatever. So I go in and I'm in the process of taking my mask off. And like I look around, I go, fuck. Am I gonna be the only fucking guy in here not wearing this fucking thing? So I look around and there's a couple people. It's probably 75% people wearing them.
Yep.
And 90% of workers. But I also want to take into consideration, this is Brockton Market Basket. There's a lot of minorities there. There's also a lot of people, like a lot of the workers are under the age of 18. It might not be up to them.
Right.
But the minority thing is real. And with Brockton, we're not just talking about Black Americans. We're talking about a lot of people from a lot of different countries.
Yeah.
So, like when we talk minorities in the percentage of them not getting vaccinated, I bet you if you took a like segmented look, and I bet non-American minorities would be significantly lower than, Black Americans or Asian Americans or whatever you want to pick.
Yeah, I
feel like the people from other countries are going to be much more hesitant to get it.
So I did look this up a while ago, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I want to say less than 25% of African Americans are fully vaccinated.
So less than 25% African Americans. Okay, so that doesn't even take into consideration, Haitian immigrants or Cape Verde or whatever, right?
Right.
Because they wouldn't classify themselves as African American. Or would they?
Well, Cape Verde, yeah. Cape Verde is Africa.
No. So what I meant was, do they identify as African Americans or do they identify as Cape Verdean?
No, I think if you're talking about like checking boxes,
it's all just African American.
It's African American, yeah.
Okay. So, because that's what I was going to say is, so if you take all African Americans, they're not all built the same. So I'll just use Cape Verde because it's such a big population in Brockton.
Yeah, and in Massachusetts in general.
Massachusetts, like Brockton, New Bedford, whatever.
Yeah.
So you take the Cape Verdeans, I bet you they're under 25%. And I bet you Black Americans that have been here for multiple generations, I bet they are over 25%. Because I know I'm just basically doing simple averaging. Like, this is just simple math.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is not all minorities are created equal. And because Brockton has so many minorities from a different country, I'm assuming that you're going to see a higher percentage of those people not vaccinated.
All right. So I just pulled it up on the CDC website. I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but I just wanted to make sure we get this right. So Hispanic Latino is roughly 13% vaccinated. Roughly 13% of the population of Hispanic and Latinos are vaccinated. Moving to Asian non-Hispanic, less than 10% are vaccinated. Black non-Hispanic, just about 10% are vaccinated. White non-Hispanic is about 60, a little bit over 60% vaccinated. And then multiple / other non-Hispanic is again right around 10% vaccinated. So
we're looking at minorities being right around 10.
Yeah. The highest group of minorities that are vaccinated is Hispanic Latino. And like I said, they're probably around, like, we'll call it 15.
Yeah.
15% of Hispanic people are vaccinated.
So it's actually less than I thought. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I'm in, I'm in Brockton. I'm not, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Saturday. Did I go anywhere Saturday? I don't know if I went anywhere Saturday. Probably not. So yesterday we went to Legacy Place and she wanted to go to Sephora.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Sephora. Employees are wearing them. There's not that many people in there, whatever, no big deal, but they're probably wearing them. They had the same sign on the door. And then there's West Elm, which is like that, like kind of like boutique furniture kind of place. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It's almost like a Crate and Barrel type thing, but
yeah,
I think like on a smaller scale. I don't know. Put it to you this way: it's the opposite of fucking Brockton Market.
Correct.
So they don't have any signs, nothing. So I'm like, all right, well, if you don't specify, I'm walking in. And you look around, there's like one other guy, maybe two other people, but like everyone's still fucking wearing these things. And on the way out, there's a sign says masks are recommended. It's like, why is this on the fucking way out?
Right.
I'm leave whatever. So then the last place I went was Amelia's in Stoughton, which is a
the hibachi place.
Like no, it's an Italian. It's like an Italian place, but it's like Davio's, but like maybe like 15% cheaper than Davio's.
Okay,
so it's like that, like
yeah,
upper scale type thing, and basically nobody was wearing shit there. So I'm still trying to like get the grasp of. Oh, and then sorry, we went to Wegmans today, and that was fucking fucked up. Like everyone's fucking wearing them, like. And I don't know. I think I think what we're gonna see now is there's gonna be an asshole complex of the people who continue to wear them.
Yes.
Just being fucking dickheads.
Yeah. So I went to Market Basket Saturday morning to go. This one is in South Attleboro. So I walk in, no mask. There's no sign on the door. Oh, actually, they changed the sign so the sign used to say, please wear a mask, whatever. Now they changed the sign on the front door that says, people are fully vaccinated or not required. If you are unvaccinated, please wear a mask.
Yep.
So I walk in, no mask. And Amy still has her mask on. And she's like, I don't know. And I go in and we walk around and I'm probably like, I don't know what capacity that place was fucking packed. Also, if there was like 350 people in that store, less than 50 were not wearing a mask. And I happen to be one of them. A very, very small population. What I did notice, however, is that mostly, now I'm not in this category yet, so fuck off, but mostly middle-aged white men were the ones that were not wearing masks. I do fall into the white male category.
No, young people are still wearing them. Old, it's the people that, you know, plus or minus 10 years off, like our parents' age.
Yeah.
So it's like it's probably like mid 40s to like 70.
Yeah, I was going to say 40 to 60, somewhere between that, middle-aged. So there was a few situations similar to mine where the guy was not wearing the mask, but the wife or the woman that was accompanying the guy was. And it was one of those, like, you know, whatever, it is what it is. In that situation, I think it's pretty blatant what's going on. That's just a person that doesn't want to wear a mask. They may not be vaccinated, but whatever. You don't have to wear it. It doesn't fucking matter. Because the other thing too is people fail to recognize, weird, people don't have common sense, but people are failing to recognize the logic of the current situation. So what did I say in the last episode or something, like over 60% of the country is vaccinated or something like that?
No, you just said that 60% of white people.
No. This was the last episode. Joe Biden had come out and said that I think 60% of the country is vaccinated, of the entire, like the country as a whole. Gotten at least one dose.
Something like that.
So all of these people that are now fully vaccinated don't have to wear a mask. But if you stop and think about the logic behind that, if you are vaccinated, you are theoretically protected from this virus, right? It's 95% effective at something. The something we don't really know what it is.
We don't know what it is, but
so if you're 95% protected at whatever it does, and you take your mask off, you're protected. If someone who is not vaccinated wants to take their mask off, they are theoretically unprotected, and that is their own choice to be at risk. If we're talking in theoretical worlds here, if you are actually going to die from getting this thing, if you're unvaccinated and you don't wear a mask, you are assuming the risk of getting it and therefore dying. So I look at this if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear one. If you're unvaccinated, you do, as still government overreach, because so many people are vaccinated at this point. Just say, all right, cool, don't wear a mask anymore. And the people that aren't, because the fact of the matter too is the people that that are unvaccinated are probably, at this point, if you haven't gotten it, you're probably not going to get it. And they're probably not going to wear masks either. So, you know what I mean? Like, just let the people that are unvaccinated assume the risk. And instead of saying explicitly, if you're unvaccinated, you don't wear one. I'm sorry, if you're unvaccinated, you do wear one. And if you are vaccinated, you don't. Just say, you don't really have to wear a mask anymore if you're comfortable not wearing a mask. That's all you have to say, is if you're comfortable not wearing a mask, don't wear one.
So I did this at the gym, and it was a very quick conversation that I decided this is how we were going to do it. So on the front door, the sign says, masks are optional. Please visit the CDC website if you have any questions.
Yeah.
That's how I phrase it. Because if you want to wear one, go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But I'm not collecting cards. I'm not asking.
Right.
Part of our population, most of our population, the decision isn't even up to them because they're kids.
Right.
They don't choose whether they get the vaccine or not.
Right.
So it's up to the parents. So the decision isn't even up to these kids. So I'm not doing this shit. Yeah. And then I'm like, and if anyone has anything to say, this is how it works. You know, this is obviously talking with the guys. I go, if someone who is vaccinated has an issue with not wearing masks, then they don't understand the situation that's going on.
Correct.
If an unvaccinated person has an issue with people not wearing masks, then they need to go take care of it.
Right.
Go get your fucking vaccine or shut the fuck up.
Right. Right.
Or go to your bunker. It's like either don't interact with the public or go get a vaccine if you don't have it.
Right.
There really is no other conversation.
No, if you don't wear a mask, you're assuming the risk if you're unvaccinated, which, hey, I don't give a fuck. I'll assume the risk. I'm young. I'm healthy. This thing doesn't kill people. It kills it kills a fraction of 1% of everyone that gets it.
The only thing that I'm still considering at this point, because I think it's a little bit easier to get now. I think like you can, it's not exactly walk in and get it, but it's getting close.
Yeah.
My only thing is because we're a workforce of 3, I may just get it to avoid missing work looking into the summer. That's like my only thing.
Yeah.
But that's it. And even with that, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then the other part of that was, so that same day, Saturday night, I'm at the Red Sox game, zero masks anywhere. When we first walked into Fenway, there was like the little souvenir shop that we went in just outside of Lansdowne Street. And I would say it was probably 50-50. People with masks and without. And then once we went through the gate and got into the park, like less than 10% of people were wearing masks. And then especially once you got to your seat, like people that were in their seats, zero masks. People that like were walking around and doing whatever, some of them were wearing masks, but everyone that was in their seat, no mask.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is you're going to see and I'm going to make fun of this later, but you're going to see the essential businesses is probably going to be mask heavy still. Grocery stores, convenience store, whatever. Because those people, they have to do it. Everything that's completely optional, your sporting events, your restaurants, your bars, you're going to see 0% because that is purely choice.
Right.
Anyone that's concerned will not be there. There's no issue there.
Right.
Like no one goes, oh, well, I'm kind of nervous about around being people, but I think I have to go to the bar today. It's like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that is true.
I don't know. It was just interesting the first, so we're 3 days into it.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah. And it's funny. You get way more dirty looks in a Wegmans than you do in a market basket.
Yeah, a lot of that, like I said, it probably has to do with demographics and all that. Like the type of people, like there's a certain type of people. Yeah, there's a certain type of people.
White people are so concerned about what other people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, black people don't give a fuck.
Right. So I actually have a hilarious story regarding masks because California also just recently lifted their mask mandate as well. So this comes from SF Gate. I'm sorry, San Francisco Gate, whatever the fuck. I don't know where exactly this is, if it's in San Diego or just in the area, but the title is Mendocino Cafe owner says he'll add an extra $5 fee for mask wearing patrons. So California drops their mask mandate. And this cafe, Cafe Mendocino, whatever, puts this sign on the door: $5 fee added to orders placed while wearing a mask. And it's right on the door, like as soon as you walk in. And they said there's a second sign that's on the register too. Now, this is where my personal favorite part is. There's fine print underneath this sign at the door. And it says an additional $5 fee will be added if you are caught bragging about the vaccine. An additional $5 fee will be added if you are caught bragging about the vaccine. Proceeds will be donated to victims of domestic abuse. So this is great. The big sign on the door that says you will be charged an extra $5 if you order wearing a mask, and then the fine print underneath, you will get an extra $5 surcharge if you are caught bragging about the vaccine. And then the final line of the fine print says, proceeds of all of this will go towards domestic abuse victims. So it's not like this guy is trying to make extra money for his shop. He's like, no, if you're going to be a fucking cunt in my store, I'm going to charge you for it. And then I'm going to donate that money to something that actually matters.
Well, that's what I said so this was before Massachusetts lifted, or it was before Massachusetts lifted, but after the CDC came out and said vaccinated people don't have to wear them. I go, I'm going to make a jar. I'm going to make a jar. If you want to talk about masks, you put money in the jar and then you can talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that was short-lived because what we were saying is we're just going to do what the state says. That's all we're going to do. Whatever the state says is what we'll do. And I'm like, but if you want to have that conversation, then fucking here you go. Put the money in the jar and talk, go nuts. I swear.
Yeah. I don't know. You got anything else you want to hit on? I got one more thing, but I'll offer it up to you. I know you have you got some things over here written down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I know I mentioned essential workers or essential businesses, and I thought this was pretty funny. So I'm gonna do some reading on a post I saw, and I don't know where this all fucking probably Twitter. And it's one guy tweets out, he goes, "This is what happens when you spend a year calling workers essential after decades of calling it low skill just so you could pay them shit. The jig is up, love to see it." Then that's above a picture that says, "This is what happens when you extend unemployment benefits for too long and add a $1,400 stimulus payment to it right when employers need workers to fully open back up few can be found. Because this is a burger place and it says we are closed because we have no one to work."
Awesome.
So now I know this is so obviously this is like a little bit, just in time for everyone to, go back to work.
Right.
Or open back up. There's no one who wants to work.
Right.
So then this guy talks about essential workers, trying not to pay, your nurses, your whatever, trying to budget cut, have them work all this overtime. And I know who did we make fun of for the unpaid overtime? Oh, teachers.
Teachers, yeah. But the education system is built on the unpaid overtime of teachers. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. They're the only ones who work.
Yeah, because our education system is so fucking awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
So now these things are a little unconnected, but I did think that they were funny because we're going to see it again once the hospitals slow down. All of our quote unquote essential workers are going to be just fucking thrown to the side again. So
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So there were a couple posts beneath this. I'm just going to read this because it's pretty funny how you just don't kind of see this anymore in a way. So one post, hospitals are struggling for nurses right now because they are leaving the profession entirely or leaving for temporary travel contract positions that pay well. They've been treated poorly, underpaid for the work they do, and inadequately protected this year, and they're done. My brother-in-law said they're advertising for a position in his normal unit, offering twice his salary. But they won't offer him extra to stay after risking his life working in the COVID unit for months. So he's out. It's absolutely insulting in so many industries.
Risking his life, yeah.
And so many industries are going to have major reckoning coming up. So, I mean, obviously, take it for what it is. You are a nurse. It's part of what you do.
Right.
But, you'll start to see that.
Yeah.
Then there's a post below it. And this is where things are awesome. And I really just hope they're true. We have to assume these things are true because they might seem a little fucking hyperbolic, but I prefer to believe that they are true.
Yeah.
So my father retired early because they refused to hire just one person to help with the workload. So they had to hire 5 to replace him. Then one lady was a head nurse that ran 2 floors at the hospital. They wanted her to take on more work. She agreed to do so if they gave her a small raise and hired an assistant for her. They refused. And in order to replace her, they had to hire 20 people.
Jesus Christ.
So 20 seems strong, but
yeah,
the whole idea, we're going to see how this goes going forward because we heard it all. Frontline workers, essential workers, the nurses, like all of our medical professionals. When this slows down, what's going to happen? And I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen, but it ain't going to be anything good.
No,
it'll be nothing good.
No. Yeah, because that's the whole thing. I don't know how many new nurses, so that's the thing. So obviously, like if you rewind all the way back to March of 2020, when this whole thing started, nurses are working crazy hours because they're being stretched because they need to be there because no one really knows how to handle this thing yet. So all kinds of fucking nurses are overworked all the time, whatever. Being a nurse isn't something that can just happen in the course of like a year. So like all of the work that needed to be done by the nurses that are stretched with overtime and all this stuff, like it's not like not like you and I can look at that and be like, you know what, the world needs more nurses. I'm going to go to nursing school. And by the time I get out of nursing school, I'm going to be ready to help with COVID. That's not how that works. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't know how many new nurses came out of this.
We probably lost a bunch because what do they have to do? It's not, obviously they don't student teach. They don't do internships. They do something, right?
Yeah, they do. I forget what it's called.
Is it a resident? It's not a residency. That's a doctor.
Yeah, doctors have a residency. That placement, maybe, I think it's called.
But you probably couldn't do any of those.
It's an internship for all intents and purposes.
Nursing internship.
Yeah, everyone wants to call it something different because it makes them feel better. It's a fucking internship.
Yeah. So the nursing internship.
No, this is a residency. I'm going to be a doctor. You call it a residency. No, you're a fucking intern. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you don't fucking live there. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an attending. Yeah, I fucking hope you're attending.
Fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so that'll be that. I think that's going to be interesting to watch, because did they? So it's like, what was the cost of this? Because did all these nurses go to school virtually when they needed to be in person?
That's true too.
Did they get to do their nursing internships for, a term that we don't know what it's called? What's that labor force going to look like? Or once this is over, not a bunch of nurses just going to go, oh, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll go sell insurance. I don't give a fuck.
Or like, did a bunch of nurses do that already back in May, June, July of last year? Like the people that, were looking at retirement maybe in 2 years and just said, fuck it, I'll just retire now. I don't want to deal with this bullshit.
Well, especially and I know, a year ago when this thing,
because I know a lot of teachers did that.
Yeah. When this thing was like actually running rampant, mostly because we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Right.
They closed the cardiology department and said, okay, you're on the COVID now. So it's like cardiac nurses doing COVID. It's like, this isn't what I fucking do.
Right.
I'm fucking out there.
Right. That's true too. Yeah. So I don't know. Like you said, there might be a little bit of a shortage for a little while. I don't know. Like I had this conversation with someone the other day that there's going to be a lot of trickle down side effects to come from this that no one is going to be able to anticipate. Like you and I sitting here and people talking about it are not going to be like, oh yeah, well, I saw this coming because of this. It's like, no. It's like something fucking stupid where like, COVID happens, a bunch of fucking nurses retire, and then there's no one to like teach the next class. So like 4 years from now, you have like a group of nurses that have like a gap, and like the rate of death during fucking, I don't know, some simple procedure like doubles. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be something super fucking random that like makes no sense, that like is a trickle down effect from this. Like we've talked about before with commercial real estate, in the next year or two, when all of these giant businesses are up to renew their leases, a lot of them are probably going to say no, because they all recognize they can just work remotely, or they'll downsize and get a smaller office. So the commercial real estate business will start to dip. But then to counter that, 3 years from now, to avoid a crash, a complete crash of commercial real estate, rents will be dirt cheap. So, because you know what I mean? So it's like, it's supply and demand stuff there. And for commercial real estate purposes, I don't know if you can apply supply and demand to like nurses and teachers, but there's going to be some stuff that, like I said, from this that nobody is going to see coming. That 4 or 5 years from now, we're going to get fucked for some reason. And it's because of this, because we essentially shut down the world for 14 months or however long it's been. You can't do that. You can't just create a 14-month gap in like people's lives, whether it's education, career. Like you can't do that. It's not good.
So I'll even tell you, like some of these unintended consequences. So, how like a lot of places are starting to go like, oh, well, we don't have any paper bag, or I'm sorry, we don't have any plastic bags, or it's, 5 cents a bag if you need whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it to you. So here's one thing, because I know a bag guy.
I got a guy.
Polypropylene, which is what those bags are made of.
Yeah.
You can't get it right now. So not only is it short, that means it's going to be expensive. Means it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
So places aren't going to give out plastic bags right now.
Right.
They're going to charge for them. Like, and I know it might not be every place. I know it might not be whatever, but that's an example of something stupid.
Yep.
That you might not notice. I also know a guy who works with packaging, just simple packaging.
Yep.
Like the stuff that all of your stuff comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. They make the boxes that hold your shit.
Yes. Like all the things you want.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden, if you buy a fucking, say you buy a new Fire Stick, it's like, oh, Fire Sticks went up $10. I wonder why. That's because the packaging it comes in, they can't get it.
Yeah.
So their cost went up.
Yep.
And they're in a shortage of packages, not the product.
Yeah. It's like dumb shit. Like the cost of glue goes up. So like rolls of tape are now more expensive, which now like leads to, you know what I mean?
Well,
the
label maker can't get his rolls right now, which backs him up, which means your pickles are now $5 a jar. Like,
yeah. It's a butterfly effect, really, is what it comes down to. It's like, this is going to cause something at some point. And no one knows. Anyone that sits here and says they know what it's going to be is a fucking moron. There's just a snake oil salesman, or they probably will tell you they're a psychic too. But something is going to happen. I am on record. This did not happen yet. At least there's no record of it. But I was convinced, probably right around this time last year, that we were going to create like a superbug, and have like a superhero version of MRSA, because everyone was so like crazy about washing their hands and disinfecting and using hand sanitizer and rubbing alcohol and everything. Remember, there was people like rubbing their groceries down with like rubbing alcohol. And I was like, yo, if this keeps up going like long enough, we're going to create a superbug, because it's simple math. Like if something kills 99% of germs, that 1% of germs means it's resistant or semi-resistant to whatever is being used to kill it. So it's Darwin's law, like it's science, like the survival of the fittest. So now you have all the fittest bacteria that's going to continue to breed with other bacteria that survived the rubbing alcohol. You know what I mean? And then eventually you get to the point where you have this like mega MRSA, which MRSA is already bad enough as it is. But it didn't happen.
So I know you just tried to use science, but what do the politicians say about this? So that's what we
Yeah, we need to ask AOC how she feels about that. Man. So I don't know. There's going to be something. Maybe I was wrong about my superbug theory. We still have time though, so who knows? Maybe that'll be the winter. They'll get everyone more controlling. Like they'll take the control back, because they'll be like, oh no, we've created a superbug. They won't say we've created. They'll say there's a new strain of streptococcus or staphylococcus, whatever. The staphylococcus virus is now completely resistant to everything. So, you know, we have to be careful, and there's no vaccine for this, and because it's a bacterial infection. And it's like, oh, here we go. It's going to be something.
Yeah. And where staph usually requires skin contact, this one's airborne.
Yeah.
Or so we think.
Yeah. Something fucking stupid.
Airborne staph infections.
Imagine. Might as well just fucking get on your knees and like.
I'll just fucking light myself on fire.
Yeah, seriously, airborne staph infection, like that is like something out of the movies. Like that is like Contagion, like that movie. Like that's like the world's over at that point. Airborne fucking staph infection. Like I said, just drink the fucking closest bottle of bourbon and light yourself on fire. Like there's no coming out of that. Oh, what do I get? Yeah. All right. I got one more thing and then we can wrap this up. So I got interesting news here. I got to pull it up in Instagram. So we've talked.
I would just like to point out that Jeff Fiegels' kid, the punter from the Giants.
Yeah.
He's like third in the NCAA division right now.
Oh shit. That's pretty crazy.
No, it's his nephew. Sorry, it's his nephew. It's not his
nephew. Oh. So we've talked about this before, but the use of psilocybin for PTSD.
Oh, Connor Murphy, dude.
Yeah.
That'll kill your superbug. Just everyone start drinking your own piss.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's how it works.
Because if you drink your own piss, you expose yourself to all that bacteria and it boosts your immune system.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's your US Open champion, not some random clown telling you that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely a reputable source. Not a modern day snake oil salesman.
Not actually selling anything. He's just on drugs.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So I got this from Ride the News. There's actually there's I would say now they're kind of I compare them to Jerry News. But they're pretty, like, they just report facts, like that's it. So this is from them on Instagram, talking about, well, obviously today's Memorial Day, so they're talking about this in regards to veterans. They just say, like, PTSD afflicts millions of veterans, up to 20% of those who served in Iraq or Afghanistan. It can often be debilitating, but there is hope in the type of a new treatment, which is psychedelics. They explain what PTSD is. It's often linked to homelessness and depression among veterans, as well as nearly 18 U.S. veteran suicides daily, which I will say that number has come down quite a bit in the last few years. It used to be 22. If anyone remembers the 22 push-up challenge, was 22 veterans commit suicide every day. So whatever has been doing is working because the number is coming down. So not only do many veterans lack the resources to cope with PTSD, but normal treatments, therapy, and antidepressants work for fewer than 70% of the patients. Many are left to suffer indefinitely. So you have at least 30% of veterans with PTSD that antidepressants and therapy just don't work. So in recent years, they've been using a number of psychedelic drugs. Among them are MDMA, which is on the street is ecstasy, or Molly, for depending on what time period you come from. Ketamine, which is a fun one. That's the cat tranquilizer. Which that's just reminding me of a story that we heard about someone about to go into a K-hole right before a wedding.
Oh God.
Yeah, the names can't be said on air, but
fuck, I don't remember that shit.
Nico's told us the story. I'll text it to you afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, who told it to us?
So MDMA, ketamine, and psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in mushrooms. So this is what everything has been building to. In a groundbreaking study that I think just came out today, or very recently. Released this month. There you go. Maybe if I kept reading and stopped and shut the fuck up, you guys would get it. So in a groundbreaking study released this month, researchers combined MDMA with talk therapy for veterans who had suffered from PTSD for an average of 14 plus years. So these people have been suffering for fucking years. After 2 months, 67% of participants were no longer diagnosed with PTSD, versus 32% in the placebo group. So one group got ecstasy and therapy, and the other one just got therapy. So the just therapy was 32% effective, but ecstasy was 67% effective. A study was published in the American Journal of Psychiatry in February, found that 67% of veterans administered ketamine as a PTSD treatment experience a substantial reduction in symptoms compared to the 20% for the control. Experts believe psilocybin could yield similar effects. So last week, Texas, this is big news. Texas, obviously pretty conservative, right? Red state, approved a study to look at psilocybin as a PTSD treatment. So now the state where it is still technically illegal to use it is going to look at if there is any efficacy in treating mental illness. So this is kind of a big deal. Did we talk about this in the show where I said that I think eventually all drugs are just going to become decriminalized?
I think you might have said that.
I know I said that my hot take is by 2024, marijuana will no longer be a Schedule 1 drug. Because
definitely said that,
because the big tobacco was going to push it, because they need something else because they're getting crushed right now. But yeah, no, I think so. We already have 2 states, Colorado and Oregon, have decriminalized psilocybin, and I think we're gonna realize that like this shit is actually better than drugs. And unfortunately, I think it's really kind of only a matter of time before something happens and this is just squashed. Because just like I was talking about big tobacco, big pharma is probably even worse than big tobacco. And they make all kinds of money from keeping people addicted to pills and medications. So if something comes out that says like a mushroom that grows in the ground, albeit on cow shit or under cow shit, technically, is better at treating this than your pill, they're not going to like that very much.
No, they're not.
No. So that's going to be something to keep a close eye on as more of these studies are released at how effective this stuff actually is. Because the other thing too is some of these like benzodiazepines are super addictive. And I believe they are the only thing in addition to alcohol that if you withdraw, it will kill you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know that, but
I know for a fact alcohol withdrawals can kill you. But I believe also benzodiazepines are the only other thing. Like you can be addicted to fucking heroin and the withdrawals are going to really suck. But they're not going to kill you. You could be addicted to meth and the same thing. But if you're addicted to alcohol and benzos, those can kill you during withdrawal. They typically have to be medically supervised during withdrawals. So I don't know. I'm interested to follow this. I think it's good news that, we have some natural fucking things that are coming down the pipe. And also, I am not a stockbroker or financial guy. I don't pretend to be one. Don't listen to my advice. Actually, do the opposite of what I say. But there is a company out there called Mind Medicine that is focused on psilocybin research and how it helps treat mental illness. And I do own stock in them. So I might be biased, but I think we're trending in the right direction there. So might be something. I sent you that one, right? Mind Medicine.
I think you did.
Yeah. It's still pretty cheap right now. So that's probably one where like, that's like a 10, 20 year thing. Because all this shit needs to be decriminalized and researched more and then eventually legalized and used in administration, like over the counter shit, you know what I mean? Or prescription, whatever. It's going to be at least 10 more years before we get to that part of it. But yeah.
Sorry, that's going to take too long.
Yeah.
I'm at 10 years.
Yeah, I don't want to invest now and reap the benefits 10 years from now. No.
Never mind that it could 50 times its money.
Yeah. 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 Well, it's probably not low enough right now either.
You're a mushroom crypto I could buy.
Mushroom coin.
I'll buy a fucking mushroom coin.
I probably would too. All right. You want to wrap this up? About that time. We got a Bruins game to watch.
Yeah.
Watch them get their asses kicked.
So one of the podcasts I listen to, they like to talk about can't teach heart moments. And on Friday, leading into Memorial Day, Hurricane John comes up to me, and Hurricane John's a 19-year-old will be a college sophomore. He goes, "Bob, I think I dislocated or broke my pinky." I'm like, "How?" He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, no. What activity were you doing when this happened?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I was doing cleans. I'm like, okay. You should probably, like, it looks all fucked up. It's like pointing over here and
yeah.
Not good. He goes, oh, it happens all the time. He goes, but usually it doesn't hurt this bad. I'm like, okay.
All right.
I'm like, you probably want to get an x-ray on it.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I don't really want to get an x-ray. I'm like, all right, well, I guess you're done cleaning today. He goes, nah, I'll be fine. Continues to clean.
I'll just tape it up.
He didn't even tape it up. Just fucking went for it. Continued to clean.
Hockey guy.
Football guy.
Yeah.
So he continued to clean. Then he went into close grip bench. And I don't know what the fuck to finish with. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you should fucking not be here.
Yeah.
I guess at the same time, it's just a pinky. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Whatever. He's 18 years old. I'm telling him, like, I don't condone anything you're doing right now, but I'm not gonna rip the bar away from you either.
It could be simple, like one of those things, like with just the pinky, like you just pull traction and it snaps back where it needs to be.
That's what he said. He said he popped it back.
Yeah.
But it still looked fucked up.
Yeah.
But I must say that was the first time that I have had to experience that. And he lifted through it. So that is the Sarcasm Speaks Can't Teach Heart moment of the week.
I like it.
I was just he literally had me speechless.
Yeah.
Like, you probably want to get that thing x-rayed. He goes, no, I don't get an x-ray. All right, well, done cleaning. He goes, I'm gonna keep going. What?
Yeah. Sick.
So yeah, it's either can't teach hard or you can't fix stupid. One or the other.
Yeah, whatever.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah. Potato, same thing. So I started laughing. I just got a random text message from a number. I don't know the area code, 713.
Oh, that's not
nowhere around here. But this is really funny. I'm not clicking on it. I'm just going to delete it. But it just popped up and goes, hello, horny. Can you fuck me? Come with me. And then sends me a link. And then there's a bunch of numbers in there. So that's totally legit. Definitely got to click on it. I didn't even open the message. I just fucking swiped and deleted it. But I just thought that was hilarious. It literally just popped up on my phone and I started dying.
There's no way your phone would get a virus from that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, that was another thing. You remember, have you guys ever got a virus on your phone? No, can't say that I have. All right. So my actual real final thought, we're going to circle back to the beginning of this. We were talking about being at the Red Sox game. I recognized, and you will appreciate this, I would imagine. My drinking habits are not conducive to being at a Red Sox game. So obviously, how we drink. We have very similar paces, I guess you would say. And it's too fast is really what it is.
You and I both have similar problems with alcohol. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think most of it is just beer because I'm not a huge beer drinker. So when I have one, I'm just like, I just want to drink it because I also hate when beer gets warm. As if I was afraid.
Okay, was it going to get warm?
I was afraid the beer was going to get warm in a fucking 45-degree day. But it's one of those where it's like, I don't like when beer gets warm. So I just drink it fast because I don't really enjoy it. But whatever. So I start hammering back a couple beers and I make some trips down to the concession stand. And each time I go down, I'm being a nice guy. And I turn to everybody that I'm with. And I go, anybody need one? And everyone says no. All right. So I go down, finish my second one. I turn to everybody. I go, anybody need one? And one person goes, yeah, I'll take one. So, I go, get one, bring it back. Another time, did anybody need one? Nope. Like, all right, well, this is probably gonna be my last one anyway. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then, so one, yeah, I drank way more than everyone else that was there. And two, beers at Fenway Park are like anywhere between 10 and $12, depending on what you're getting. So it was one of those, like I said, like our drinking style is not conducive to being at like a live sporting event, because any live sporting event, they're going to be really fucking expensive. So I spent like, I don't know, probably $50 just on beer. And it's like, I wasn't even drunk.
The only place
I had like 4 beers.
The only place where our drinking habits kind of thrive are the diviest of dive bars and like country clubs where beers are like $3.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
because $50 like in beer, that's
sitting around a living room.
Yeah. Well, but that's what I mean. Like, if you're going to be out, because
yeah.
Because then, like, even some places, like, even if you don't go beer, like $12 cocktails, like, you're gonna drink 7 of those.
Yeah, that's insane.
$100.
Yeah, you're gonna drop $100 to get a fucking buzz.
To fucking drink in public.
Because they don't make drink. Well, most places, some places do, but most places don't make drinks like we make. Like I don't even want to say we, like most people at home. Like the drink you get at a bar somewhere is not the drink that someone makes for themselves at home.
Right. Well, that's why I usually need like 4 when I'm doing it.
Right.
Or like, 12 when someone else is.
Yeah. So it was one of those where I was
they're not usually, dump the bottle 6 count.
Yeah. Was that 4? I don't know. Maybe I should start over. So
no,
yeah,
it's never been that way. Even like, so I've found myself in a very unique spot, and I have to kind of like, fucking talk myself out of it. Like, I actually, like, because we can finally, like, these places are open again, it makes me want to go to them. But then I forget that I hate all these places.
Yes, and I hate people.
I hate people and I hate these places. So it's like, I got to remember, it's like, oh, right, you do hate these places.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to be careful about that. I was thinking that this weekend because a couple places we went to fine, but
I was quickly reminded how much I hate people at the Red Sox game. I texted it to our group chat, but it was Mr. Fenway was sitting next to me and explaining to his girlfriend how the green monster worked. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe his quote was, they put the standings for the entire Eastern Conference on there because, back in the day, you couldn't just look up stats on your phone. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, Eastern Conference, huh? The Bruins play here? I mean, I know they played here that one time, but like Eastern Conference, you mean the AL East? So he's just a fucking jabroni. He's sitting here.
So honestly, I guess I need him to explain this to me. Is it all of the American League, or is it just the AL East?
No, the AL East standings are on the Monster, and then they have
the AL East, not the whole American League.
Correct, just the AL East, and then the rest of the Monster is the live scores of the games. But like listening to him,
standings. That's okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the AL East like standings.
Yeah.
But listening to him like explain this to this girl, and I was like, oh man, you really don't know anything. But like, this is probably this girl's first time at Fenway. So like, she probably thinks that you're fucking a genius and you're just an absolute moron. I forget what the other thing was that he said, but
I just hope he was just fucking packing a fucking warthog down there and at least made it worth a while.
Yeah. But yeah, that's you saying that places being open reminds you hate people, just sparked that in my head. I know.
Well, it's like, I'm just like thinking too, and it's like I saw one of the bars by the Garden because the Bruins played on Saturday, and I'm like, oh my God, shoot me in the fucking head. As much as I'm excited that these places are open again, I'm just like, wow, I forgot. I hate everything.
Yeah. I hate everything and everyone.
I'm so happy everything's open again. But then at the same time is I don't actually like anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the other one was a different guy in front of me was cheering for Nick. Every time the pitcher started throwing the ball, he was like, yeah, let's go, Nick, like Nick Pivetta. But the guy pitching that day was actually Nathan Eovaldi. So
yeah, let's go, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the other thing. So within like 15 minutes of like being there, I was reminded of how much I actually hate people. Like, wow, you guys are fucking morons. Yeah, the entire Eastern Conference standings are over there. And you see that over there? That's called Pesky's Pole. It's named after this guy who used to play on the Red Sox. He was really good.
Jerry Pesky.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like this, hearing this kid, like like I wanted to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Shut up. Like take this girl on a fucking Fenway tour. If that's like, you know what I mean? Because you're getting it wrong. You're getting everything wrong. You're just an idiot. Maybe you should go on a fucking Fenway tour before you take someone here and try and explain baseball to them.
Although if you do need a sign of hope, there was a woman at the bar yesterday and she was by herself, got a martini, had a murder fucking novel with her. She seemed to be having a great time.
Yeah.
So for people like her, I'm happy. For people like Mr. Fenway, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a fucking dumbass. And that's saying something because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, I suck. And I fucking recognize how much this guy sucks.
Yeah. Well, that is going to do it. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, whichever corner it's in, there or there. Give us a thumbs up down there. Tell everybody you know about the show. Keep spreading the word. Not surprisingly, we haven't heard anything from Drinking Bros or Dan Holloway since last week, so that's probably dead forever. They probably listened to one episode, half of an episode, and was like, fuck these idiots. So what can you do? Subscribe wherever you're listening right now. If you're on an Apple device, head on over to the iTunes store, give us 5 stars, write us a review. You can follow us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. And then if you want to watch this Bruins game that we're about to watch, that you guys aren't going to watch because this is coming out Thursday, but you want to bet on it, you want to bet on any sports, because today also starts, well, when this comes out today, isn't this the Memorial? This weekend?
Thursday.
Yeah. So you want to bet on the Memorial tournament? Go to mybookie.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up. They will give you a 50% match on your first deposit up to $1,000. Then you can also follow us on Twitter. One of my favorite things is actually waking up on a Sunday morning and going to Twitter and scrolling through what you and Nikos have tweeted on Saturday night from the Sarcasm Speaks Twitter account, and then obviously just Nikos. So it's great. If you guys aren't following Sarcasm_Speaks on Twitter yet, you're missing out, because there's some fucking gold on there. And then Jones will jump in occasionally, and I'll say something stupid every once in a while too. Mostly just to get Nikos going if I can. And well, yeah. Because some of the lines he comes up with once you get him going is amazing. It's literally gold. And then our Facebook page is just Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night.